Okay, Jimmy, do you remember when they closed the Iron Steamer down?
For the last time they closed it down 2005.
Okay.
It had been closed.
Well, they built these, there's 5 of these big pastel abominations here. I know this isn't Atlantic Beach, but still, it took a couple years, I think, before they sold the first one. Now they're basically just vacation rentals, you know. You get one of these things for a week or whatever.
Yeah, and there's no pier out there. Shipwreck's still out there.
Obviously no pier out there. You can still see the wreck at low tide, but the bulkhead is still there if you go out on the beach.
This used to be the Iron Steamer Pier. God knows how much time I used to spend down at this place. Is that the old parking lot there?
No, that's a public that's a public beach access next to it. But it's $10 a day for parking there. But this is Pine Knoll Shores. This ain't Atlantic Beach. Here's the oceanfront side. These pastel colored ugly abominations just piled up here. The pier was right straight out there.
Not a single North Carolina license. Right there's nope, not a single North Carolina license plate.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording till we get there. Alrighty then, welcome to Jungleland. When did they tear that down?
I don't remember it though.
It's been tore down for a while. There's enough weed growth up in there to let you know it's been tore down for a right good while. Okay, the camera's facing east. You know, you gotta.
Hobby used to manage that once.
You got your empty lot with nothing, weeds.
Okay, here's Jungle Drive.
Well, that's all right. We'll catch it.
We're going to Jungle Drive.
There's Jungle Drive. Privacy fence, so the homeowners don't have to look at the weeds. Oh yeah, they've come up with all kinds of brilliant ideas. It just didn't quite pan out.
That was Bailey, and I don't know if Brady was in. I know Bailey was in. See, well, they're over at Radio Island. He did triple with us. I thought it was possible. I thought it was yesterday. It's not like it built up or anything, but it sounds like damn pads are on.
The sign says no dumping, so I guess that's been a problem. Can't help it, there's an empty field. You just tempted to. Welcome to Jungleland.
Yeah, this is what used to be Jungleland. It's 2 doves is about all that's left.
And then right over there we have used to be the Sheraton.
Doubletree.
Now it's a Doubletree. It was closed for several years after Hurricane Irene.
Yeah, this is right coming into Atlantic Beach, right at the edge of Atlantic Beach, Pine Knoll.
Right at the city limit.
Doubletree. Of course, the rain's starting up. Now they just reopened Molly's.
You know, they opened the hotel too, but the pier is just very short.
And here's the white sand.
Can't fish off of it anymore.
God, those rains starting up. Alright, some of y'all recognize some of this stuff. That used to be DJ Shooters. It's now Safari. And Tony's has been there for a good while. And of course, as soon as we hit the edge of Atlantic Beach, here comes the damn gully washer, frog strangler, or whatever. Coming up here, the shopping center, and now we're going to go into the food line, which everybody's been talking about, where the city bought this. It's basically set vacant. And this is where they're talking about putting in the park. We'll let you see the park. Over here is the shopping center. Probably, I don't know, some of y'all ain't been here for a long time, might not have seen it. Food line used to be over across the road. All right, now we're going to turn right, and this is what the city owns right here.
This is where the old food line was.
Here's the park. Here's what the city owns. The city owns all this building here.
Yeah, isn't that
This is where people were talking about putting, instead of putting at the point of the circle. This is the old food line. Y'all hear on the line, on the forum and all that about the old food line. This is the old food line right here. It's just sitting vacant, and this is. But I don't know what they're planning. Going to be used for the town offices, town hall, that sort of stuff. And here we have, this is the park. Let's see, we got one car here, somebody back there on the jungle set or whatever it is. This is the park. We got basketball court, and basketball goal.
And a swing set.
That's the old food line. Here across the street is the liquor station. This is, I guess, it's the only shopping center as such in Atlantic Beach. Go ahead and leave it running. We're gonna just let them see this stuff. Alright, we're gonna go down here. We'll leave it running and show you until we get to the circle. Now we're coming to
if they can hear you because it's out the window.
Yeah, now there's the present water treatment plant. It's a new ABC store. Of course, it's not new, but some of y'all may not have been down here for a while. AB Surf Shop. A lot of this is basically the same. A lot of this is, you have BT's, so they just renovated that, redid all the BT's. Roma, McDonald's, here's Burt's. Burt's over on the other side of the street.
They renovated this place, but they never opened it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. We're going to turn down the circle now. And
there's the regular town hall.
Yeah.
The fire department.
Fire department. And
all right, now we're fixing to turn down the circle.
We're going to go down the circle and
you're going to like this.
We don't really have to worry about traffic. We got red lights. There ain't no problem with traffic around here anymore. Now, there's one of our big new sewer plants right there. And
isn't that pretty?
Here, let me see the camera over here. All right, here is the circle. Now you can see whatever. Now that's the drain field up there.
Catch the produce stand.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, they shut down, so they may. I don't know what they're. But that is the circle right there. As you can see, if any of y'all that pilot your own plane, if you want to come down, if you want to fly down here, here's where you land. Just watch out for the sewer tank. If you don't hit the sewer tank, there's nothing else to hit. Here. Rodney's going to show you
another brilliant idea. We're gonna put a produce stand out here. I saw a guy with 6 watermelons in a truck. They built parking and everything for it, but I hadn't seen any.
That stand is 10 times bigger than they had like 2 card tables.
Now we watched from your back deck.
Yeah.
From your back deck, we watched them. It took them what, 2 years just to put a roof on this building.
It was the damnedest thing you ever seen in your life.
And that's all they've done, and that's been what, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, it took at least.
But now there's the sign all faded out, talking about
retro.
What a wonderful retro motel it's going to be.
I think there's some cats stay down here.
I mean,
I hear them fighting down here.
I hear they got places like this in Detroit. You know.
Yeah, but they probably got windows at least. Here's everybody. Y'all keep hearing about this is the something drain off, or I don't know what it is. Another thing where waste shit goes into. This is all that's on the circle right now. It may be waste rain
all these
or
plants
something.
came from Jungleland, right?
Oh, they did. Did those come from Jungleland?
Yeah.
There you go.
They just had to have a place to. Had to have something to do with them. They brought them over from Jungleland, and
now here,
pomegranates laying on the ground.
They built. I think Fred Bunn built this, whatever it is, Gilligan's Nirvana or something.
I've never seen a human soul on that boarded up.
I think it's a decoration. I don't know, but now we'll go around to the parking lot so you can see the crab's claw.
Okay, here's the crab's claw, and the public parking. You pay $10 a day to park in all the public parking here.
This you do?
This you do. On the weekends, you pay $10 a day. See, there's the sign, pay to park. Atlantic Beach Regional Public Beach Access, pay to park.
I guess since the produce stand shut down, they got 18 spaces up there. So
$10 to park, but if you want to get a hot dog or something, you got to leave and give up your parking place and go to Moorhead.
Here, get that place. This is one of the places where they're putting either the 5 or 7 cottages right on. It's private residences. This is all the building that's going on right here. They're putting 5 to 7 of those down there, right on the
boardwalk,
beachfront, right there. There it is.
Right on the boardwalk.
And I don't know what this is. This is like Ernest Hemingway's house coming up here or something. What the fuck? Excuse my French. What is this?
I don't know what this is.
I think that's Ernest Hemingway's house.
I've never seen a human soul step foot on it. Now here is a place where you can, walk in off the beach and buy a bathing suit if you don't already have one.
They've been there a long time too.
They've been there a long time.
Down there was Lisa's and all the old stuff, I think it's all been torn down now.
Someplace else.
Now they got seagull parties going on down there.
Here's the.
Might get from this.
Here's the other side of the.
Here's the other side of the vast expanse.
Zoom that in, so. Ain't that pretty? Prime property here.
Damn seagull, get out of the damn.
There's a dog house where we pay somebody to collect the $10 a day. There's another dog house where we pay somebody to stand in there and collect $10 a day for parking.
Let this bunch go around me. Go ahead and get the tackle box.
But you pay $10 a day for parking, but if you want a hot dog, you got to give up your parking place and go to Hell's Drive-In in Moorhead.
All right, here we have the, here's the tackle box, formerly our place.
Formerly our place, now it's a tackle box. That, a couple of years ago, they sold hot dogs there, but it's been closed for...
Yeah, that looked like there have been many hot dogs sold there in a long time.
Not in a while.
I'm wondering, should we pull around the parking lot and just go ahead and walk a beat, just go to the boardwalk for a second?
I don't want to. You can if you want.
I'll get that later. Here's the sign. I don't know what it was a sign for.
There's another sign advertising what they're going to build that's going to make this a nice place here. And then
Here's
there's
the
another.
Old Summer's Inn. Back when I was playing at Hoppy's, by God, that place. Oh Lord. They could have made a TV show about when we stayed at the damn Summers Inn. That was.
But now this is privately owned, and there's a guy that sits out here and stop right here a second. There's a guy that sits right here, and you can park here for $5 a day. And then there's a sign about please don't feed the feral cats. So the only people that live here is feral cats. Isn't that pretty?
There's Atlantic Drive.
And here's some more combuberation they're building. I don't know what they're building here. Probably some pastel colored.
Probably another sewer tank.
Or maybe another sewer tank, yeah. Could be. There's another dog house where we pay people to stand in there and collect money.
I think Parties was used to be right in here somewhere.
$10 a day to park.
We're crossing East Terminal now. We're about to go to East.
There's the old water tower.
Here, let me see that. Here's now. This has been the biggest building project going on down here for a while. You know, sewer tank. And I'm telling you what, we are a showpiece of Carolina beaches when it comes to sewers. I mean, sewer holes and sewer tanks and all that. Damn, we ought to be in a magazine for that stuff. And Waste Disposal Illustrated.
The old Four Corners Diner.
Yeah. And across the street,
All right, I'm gonna shut her down.
Oh, just like
We're headed to the Triple S.
Yeah, just because we get everything people want to see what's along here.
Oh, okay.
We got plenty of time.
There's a causeway up ahead.
Oh, really? We need to go down and get the showboat. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. We need to get there.
Yeah, we need to go. We'll go down the causeway and come back, and then we're at Main Junction here. We've actually got some cars around us. By God. I don't know why we got a red light. Everybody's got no, there was across the way. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we go. Okay, here it's just going down. Because here's Freeman's, the sold the bait and tackle shop. Here's around, hey, Atlantic Beach, see if we can all get that on the video. Now we're coming down to the docks.
look out across the sound.
Oh yeah. I thought you said we lost the sound.
The high rise.
Get up at the high point.
Down there at the Moorhead waterfront.
Yeah, this way they can't pave over this. At least they hadn't come up with the technology to pave water over yet. So I reckon we'll have the water. It's nice though. If we didn't have the water, there wouldn't be much left.
We're coming at the base of the bridge, coming onto the island now.
Rain coming again. We hit it just right.
I can't tell what I'm filming though.
Yeah.
The sun's in my face.
It's probably clearing out but whatever. Get the back end of the it actually cleaned off the windshield. We get the back end of the
showboat.
Yeah, the showboat.
Well, I got it. I turned around and got it on the last. We'll get it again.
Well, the sun's going back in now.
Yeah. There's a channel marker. Back into the showboat.
Yeah, there's
west side
maybe a new bait shop or something or two over this. There's Captain Joe's, all the usual stuff. Nothing's really changed much on this side.
Yeah, this is the west side of the causeway here.
Yeah, ain't been a whole lot changed. Here's Scott, Scott's been coming up. Back where the old red and white and all used to be right around here. Of course, that's been gone. God knows when did that close down. You remember when the red and white closed down?
It's been a long time.
There was a hardware store. There's ABC Food. Was that where the red and white was? No, it was back in the center.
Yeah, I think it was back in that strip.
Yeah. Then there was a hardware store there and it closed down. Got hardware, got an Ace down at, well, this might be exciting here.
There's a circle straight ahead. We're turning east on Fort Macon Road.
They tore down the house and all back over there. Fred Bunn just tore all that down. I've heard that supposedly Hollowell's and all is gone too, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, and this hotel up here looked like they remodeled it, but they never opened this year.
Yeah.
I saw them out there working on it and stuff because I live right behind there.
All right, here's Crystal's here. This is the only real live music club on the beach. All right, I got no cars behind.
Look at that big place they built right there.
Yeah, they just put that place up.
It used to be a little old shack with weeds growing up through it.
Look, we don't have a car back behind. Look, there's two cars all the way back to Circle. There's the, where was the mobile home park? In fact,
Oh, Sandspur Trailer Park was on the other side of this marina.
Yeah.
Right down in there. That was Sandspur Trailer Park.
That's where I used to have my boat slip was down in there.
We used to have a trailer down in there.
Here's
now we're coming down Money Island Drive,
yeah,
where Sportsman's Pier used to be. And when did they tear that down?
God knows. It must have been around 2007 or something, because that was right in there where WW died.
Well, they were going to build this big 6-unit thing, and they tried to pre-sell them, and they couldn't get enough of them sold, so they cut it up into lots, and they couldn't sell them, so they built this big blue abomination. That's on the property where the Sportsman's Pier used to be. Look at that thing.
Here's like,
how many more they're gonna build, I can't say, but
it's the Island Grill. It's still here. What did they used to call that place before it was the Island Grill?
I don't even remember.
All right, that's where Sportsman's Pier used to be. God days, we get down in the middle of this shit.
There's no way out.
I know it.
You gotta do a whoop-de-whoop.
I'm gonna have to go back to
I miss the Sportsman's Pier. I grew up on that pier. I remember when a season pass was 40 bucks. My parents would get me one because that was perfect babysitter. They knew where I was gonna be.
Okay.
Look at that big ass. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to say that way.
God, I'm about to run right into some shit. Hey, how you doing? Whoever this person is waving.
There's the Island Grill. There's Money Island Drive. Headed back north, sorta.
Well, what's the back originally? They used to call this whole island Money Island. Something's about it was called Money Island. Where's Amos Mosquitoes? It's right
Amos
down
Mosquitoes?
Here. Right down here on the...
Down here on the left. We'll make a right, and then it'll be on the left.
Yeah.
It's the Anchorage Marina down there.
Look at this. No cars.
Yeah, look.
This is dinner time. God, thanks. I would think there'd be some more than that. That's not usual though. Usually there's at least a car or two going up this main drag at this time.
Well, there's still a lot of people at Amos Mosquitoes.
Oh yeah, there's always a bunch there.
Have a good dinner crowd.
That place is packed. Here's Oceanana.
It's the Oceanana.
Every time I come down here, I'm like looking for TJ. That when I was all out, went around looking for him after he got hit. That lady told me, said, well, he's cat. If he's lost down here, he's going to end up at the Oceanana one way or another.
There's the hotel.
This is the earliest memory of my life. It's right down here that I can at least pin down when I was 18 months old. In my brain, the earliest memory I have is sitting under a pier, watching people walk back and forth. And my mother told me it was the Oceanana back when I was 18 months old. So this is the earliest memory I have in my life is back here. Take a quick walk out there and just feel them up and down both sides. You need to get back.
Here's Henderson, where the Triple S used to be.
Any ghost tours around there?
Any what?
Now they don't know if there's any ghost tours around here.
I don't know.
Headless Hattie.
These little hotels have turned into condo hotels. You gotta buy them.
Pretty close to...
Okay, we're back to Henderson with the
toward the Triple S. Or what was the
what used to be the Triple S. These little places right here. Oh, there's one for rent. How about that? pier used to be right at the end of this road.
My friends from Wilson used to come up and fish on the pier and stay in one of these places. I remember that. All those tall things down there. And here's what used to be the Triple S.
More 3-story homes. Now down there, that's the only free parking I know of at Atlantic Beach, but there's only 4 or 5 spaces, 2 of them handicapped. You know, the rest of them on the weekends you pay $10 a day. The thing that attracted people to this island was the piers. It tore them all down. And the circle. Tore them all down. And the town wanted to spend $3 million to build a town hall on the circle. We want to spend $3 million, build a pier. And then that'll support all the other businesses around here too, because it'll attract people. I think this is still a motel. You can rent by the week or whatever. It hadn't made it into a condo-tel yet.
And all there is down that way is Fort Macon. There's nothing before Fort Macon down that way.
Well, I mean, no, not really. It's more condos.
Yeah.
Big condos.
Coming.
Yeah.
There's the old Triple S trailer park right there, Triple S Marina. Here we are headed back to the west on.
Yeah, we just let it roll and do the stretch from Triple S back to the circle.
So you got to pay to park down Newbern Street too. $10 a day to pay to park, and you can't get a hot dog or ice cream cone or nothing. You got to leave.
Right, there's Amos Mosquitoes. They stay pretty busy. I mean, that place I guess is all right. I haven't been there in a long time, but does Lisa C still?
Yep.
And here we go, the Island Grill.
Back to the Anchorage Marina again. Well, it used to be the Sand Spur Trailer Park.
Is this part of Anchorage Marina here?
No, that's another marina.
There's...
Or I don't know, maybe it is.
There's the Kangaroo. That's the place down this side.
Back
Here's
to Crystals.
Crystals. Crystals is the only club that has regular live music. Skipper's Cove.
Sandpiper Motel didn't even open up this summer.
Yeah, Laugh Tracks. There's the comedy club. I haven't been there. That's only been open this summer.
And back to the Causeway and the circle.
939. And
Four Corners again. All right, I'm gonna shut her down.